break the stream when I change the titles? We are off to find out if I started streaming or not. And how long it's been streaming. Viewer channel. Oh, okay. Well. So, the excitement of a new endeavor. I'm streaming again, or a revisited endeavor, whatever you want to call it. I'm streaming again. If you have questions, I will be answering them about an hour hourly. Yeah. And if anybody, yeah. I'm just not going to bother with kick. I don't care. Yeah. All right. Access none, try to read true false MP set. What? Oh. How do I need to get that? Local setup complete. It is all broken. Okay. Guess for submission. Oh no, I lost something. Okay, here we go. That submits guesses. Okay, we're just going to make sure that it works. And then and now I just need to get our class. No. Maybe true false multiplayer set. Is that what I call it? I really should have all those names, something very consistent. Okay. All right, let's see here. Setup complete. Caption header text set to false still. No. All right. So capture hidden text should be set to false. Set to true at this point is my assumption. Let's go dig into the player controller. Huh. No value will be returned by reference. All right, well, let's make sure I get this far. Okay. Oh, maybe my game is not creating properly. Let's see if the game on the server is not creating properly because I have this problem. Great. All right, so we got to go to Python code, and we're looking for generate fake candidate for letters. Oh. Ah, no. Oh, okay, there we go. That's the problem right there. I got one extra space in Python code. That'll cause you problems every time. And now you indent, unindent does not match any other than lever. Okay. App startup. Great. So now we go here. We've got our server back up and running. Okay. Okay. Bot process word picks failed. Build truth picks for bots is not defined. Okay, so I did not copy that apparently properly out of my handy dandy AI code. Build truth picks for bots. Let me go back in here. Truth picks for bots goes in here. Build truth picks for bots is right here. All right. And it should go here. Let's see. This point. Right to my viewport. Oh, not my viewport, to my okay. Bot world, pick one truth item. Okay. I assume that I simply put that in the wrong. I don't know where that extra space came from, and I'm not happy about it. All right, and got that, and we got our server running again. Fetch real word and definitions for letters. Huh. That has got to be in. Find in all of the documents. So this needs to go into processing of I2. Interesting. All right. Generate big candidates for letters. What's this last one? Generate fake candidates for letters. No, that's not what I want. Fuck. I don't want. Fuck. Why would you do this? Why would you? Pick one truth I am. Okay. Clean and filter fake candidates. I have no idea. I can just revert this file. I'm just gonna revert it. When was the last time? Oh, awesome. I can just undo all of this because I checked it in yesterday. Oh, or recently. Revert. How do I just revert? It should have a discard changes. There we go. Yes. Yes. All right. So here we are. Okay, that is not, that's a processing of pi. I need it to be in, is it multiplayer DB? Okay. Wow, is multiplayer DB not tracked? Ooh, that would be very, very bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so multiplayer DB. Right. So this, well, I get that, yeah, all right. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Let's see if I can make this all work again. Make this all run again. Okay. Oh, wow. There are people. Um, so I'm working on Shine on My Head was part of the background. Oh my. So I've got this new word game, and it is. I'm working on the multiplayer for it. I'm excited because it's a cool game, and let's see if I can get this to work. Um, this is all built in UE. Like the whole thing is um, yeah, so it should be capturing hidden text here. Weak. Yeah, all right. And you can do this thing where you're just like Wicana, Wicana, Wicca, Wic, Yes. All right, so let's see here. We hit the enter button, and I need to figure out what to have the player do here for a little while. Um, and here we go. Whimsical, a legal term describing the act of twisting words in an argument to mislead the opponent, to practice employing excessive jargon in legal documents, confuse laypersons. So I pick this one, I guess. Great, let's go with that one. Ooh, word submission failed, catastrophic failure. Okay, handle, complete, submit, submission, fired. Locate success equals false. All right, so what's going wrong? Unprocessable entity. All right, well, I want to show this off to somebody. There we go, CMD, go to command prompt, and oh, maybe I have it. I do already have it here. All right, so this is the game in the game all in text. So this is one round of the game. And let's see, my player ID is going to be 123 again. 123. And I have these letters here, IZTHTGNU. I can go, is it NUA? Is it NUA? There we go. And then I go into Postgres. Here we are, Postgres real quick. Hey, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted my PG admin. Need my password manager. Password manager, move my password manager over here. So that I got my local Postgres. Where's my local Postgres? Bump, 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 bump. So, is it NUA is my chosen word, and I need a category ID for it. Come on, Postgres. We love you. You're going to help us all out. We're just waiting for pgadmin4 to start. pgadmin4 doesn't take this long to start most of the time. We're going to try again. it's too shiny. Oh no. Problematic. Okay, well, I'll deal with that later. Right now, I'm trying to solve a different bug. But, so, category ID of, let's say category 45, which, oh, PG admin, yes. All right, so PG admin 4, here we've got it, we open it. I need a password, obviously. I got my password manager out for this. And now we have tools, local post, copy password. I shouldn't learn this admin here, but I'm doing it anyway. So here we've got our categories. We got 100 rows. Let's not go with 44, 5. Let's say we want Hizitnoa is a word in that sounds like a strange word out of heraldry. So we're gonna go with 45. Oh, hey. All right. Well, that was what I originally picked. All right. So now it goes off to the LLM, and it picks a. Okay, so a Hizitnoa could be a ceremonial banner adorned with intricate patterns symbolizing loyalty to a sovereign house, typically displayed during festive occasions. The art of arranging heraldic symbols in a manner that tells a story or represents a historical event, often used in royal proclamations, or a unique shield design that incorporates natural elements such as leaves or flowers to signify harmony with the environment. I think definition 3 is the most believable. So then, not all players have submitted yet. Oh, something's broken. Okay, guess what? 409 conflict. I mean, this was working, and now I have to debug it because I found a bug in. Because I had to check the AI break the bug. Mic gain up. Yeah, sure. Let's see here. What do we got for the mic gain? Mic gain is pretty high already. Let's see what we got. Bum, 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 bum. Properties. Let's just move it closer to me. Can you hear me better now? So, this now gives me a this now gives me a 409-conflict error. From the server REST response, the thread with the server window itself gives me this stink. And then let's just pass it a whole bunch of this. Dink. And it might understand all of this. It might not. Hopefully it will Man, that's frustrating. Give me a 4-9 conflict error. That's weird. So guess was in points. This line, okay, all right. This was already, that sounds it. It recovers pick up on and missing submission. Your later in points. Yes. Keep trying until each bot gets something valid. Do not block on duplicate. Right. Okay. Unitizing and utilizing. Remove existing words, hard rejection. Optionally warm instead of failing. Okay. Submit round submission. Right. This is the smallest minimal corrected balance. Yeah. Okay. Right. So one of the problems with working with an AI here is that you need to start new conversations regularly. And when you start a new conversation, it loses a ton of its state. And so what is being done here is I found a bug in a conversation that was long enough that I couldn't continue to work with the bot over a long period of time, or like I needed to like just axe the whole conversation because it would take it 2-3 minutes to respond. And now, because I've axed that whole conversation, it has bugs that because it didn't really understand the workflow that was going on and the process flow. Oh, this is not where I want to play this game. All right, I'm going to try this again here. We're going to go here. Bum, bum, bum. Single player route. Here we go. Oh, PS1. All right, player 1, 2, 3 as always. Now it does all the bot processing. This is designed to be a 5-player multiplayer game. But since this is a small indie game, I need to make it run just fine with 1 player, 2 player, 3 players, so that if people want to play, they can practice versus the bots. So my chosen word for MCWXEBQ is Weebaqua. Weebaqueem. And Weebaqueem should have a category of linguistics. Let's give it linguistics. All right, so 72. And now this category, it generates definitions for me to, it now is going to the LLM. It generates definitions for these words. The phenomenon of a word evolving in meaning through social media interactions, often leading to a rare dialect used exclusively in online gaming communities, characterized by exaggerated expressions and creative slang, and theoretical framework for analyzing the memes on language development over time. I like 2 and 3. They're both hilarious. Let's go with the rare dialect used exclusively in online gaming communities. Okay. Webquum, a complex interconnection of ideas or entities creating mutual influence. I don't think that's a real word. Zemg. No, that's not a word. Ibex. Yes, that is definitely a word. Recrew. Yes, that's a word. All right. So and then the game, that's 1 round, and the game is scored based upon your word and your opponent's words, and whether or not you fooled the opponents into believing your word was a real word, and whether or not your assessment of your opponents was that was for the word to be true. Now, because it's against bots, they tend to have meaningless, like words that are really obviously meaningless. And let's see here. So we look at my guesses, and let's see, was I player ID 1, 2, 3? I think I got it all right. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3. Guess is real. False, 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 false. True, 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 true. Yeah, that was an easy round. But when we get into a more, like, let's try it again. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll say vukaz, vukcase. Enter my chosen word. Let's say bucka, bucka, buckavesh. Yeah, that's what I can make with those letters. And let's go to the next page. I want it to be related to pirates. Folklore, fine. Now the LLM produces 3 definitions that are all folklore related. Let's go. An ancient festival celebrated by coastal villages. All right, so caboose, a delightful surge of joy experienced in communal gatherings. Caboose. I don't know. I mean, it's reasonably short. It makes sense, I guess. No, that has to be false. That has to be false. All right. Subcavate. Yeah. That's definitely a true word. Evacuates. Yes. Cubase. A form of portable shelter used in temporary outdoor events. I don't think so. Yeah. So let's see here. So we've got, let's see how correct I was. False, false, true, true, false, false. Okay. So the AI has not fooled me yet. That said, I'm a native English speaker, and I mean, the first time it fooled me, I was like, oh, that's awesome. But I mean, it's kind of a cool concept for a game, and that's what I'm building here. And so the back end of it, is all built with a REST server, and the front end of it is in Unreal Engine. Now, what that means is that there are basically 3 different types of networking going on from inside UE, because UE it has a wrapper plugin that sends data along the wire, or sends data up to the server, and it has a I mean, it's just got it's once when you put this all together, it actually is it's a fairly complicated game, because UE isn't really designed to do, like, I'm gonna end up with a bunch of tutorials about how to make a word game in UE, and how to make REST calls in UE, how to do multiplayer, how to build lobbies, and how to do it all with the EGS, the Epic Game Service backend, because the Epic Game Services backend, you want to be able to use it in UE, and in my particular case, because I don't expect to sell a lot of this, I hope, but I don't expect to. I need to be able to have a backend that I don't have to manage, that does a lot of that does the sort of the network connection layer, where you have to sort of synchronize different players. There's a lot of player synchronization stuff that needs to happen behind a game, and this is and I'm working on putting all that. All that is done on the Unreal side in the standard Unreal way, and then I manage a lot of the game state and the very specific the very specific network-based things that need to be done and networking all in a series of Python scripts that are a fast API backend. Most of the fast API backend has been written by AI, because it doesn't make any sense to write it yourself anymore. I could have written the Python code, but most of it is fairly simplistic stuff where uh, you store data in the database. Then I designed this database, but I did built a lot of the code with AI. Yeah, and it should remain the biggest. Epic. A lot of people are criticizing Epic for their recent layoffs, um, and that their recent layoffs targeted the recent layoffs really targeted their Fortnite team rather than the UEFN team. But the reality is that Epic is trying to build out UEFN into a UE6 that allows you to build multiplayer games that are very simple to throw together out of the box. And that's a big deal, a really big deal. Throwing together an individually branded multiplayer game that's really easy to put together and has all the UE features. And you can build a multiplayer game as simply as you can build a Fortnite island. That would change the game industry pretty dramatically, and it would give Epic a big advantage. But yeah, what I'm doing now is all basically networking and network timing and event driven motion of rounds, because this is basically a turn-based game, which is going to be, like the game I was working on before, Gather and Hunt, got kind of put on pause because I needed to do all this networking stuff to make it a multiplayer game. And it just turns out that the kind of games that I want to build end up being multiplayer, and that makes everything harder. And so figuring out how to build the infrastructure behind a multiplayer game it'd allow me to make games that I want to make. And so that's what I'm doing now. And here we're trying to say, let's see here. Here we go. Come on, we're waiting. Capture hidden text is set to true. So, hi-you-aha. And right now, this is just set to do a random. And it'll give me 3. An exclamation of surprise often used when encountering something unexpectedly delightful like a hidden garden. A playful shout used to summon friends to join in an impromptu adventure, usually followed by let's use this one. Right. So captured and said 2 word submission failed 3 times. Okay, bool okay, success is false. It tried to resubmit. It could not manage to resubmit. What? 422 unprocessable entity. Right, and having an engine that's designed to be that's designed to support multiplayer and work with it from the ground up is also a big advantage. And so something like if you look at Verse, which is the programming language they've built for UEFN, Verse is designed from the ground up to be a transaction, like a transaction secure or transaction, like a transaction capable language. So if I don't know if you've ever worked with JavaScript, um, when you're trying to do asynchronous things in JavaScript, when you're trying to work with transaction-based processing in JavaScript or C++ or your average programming language, it's not very reliable. But if you're trying to, so the real long-term advantage that UEFN and Verse are going to have is that all of the microtransactions people are doing now, via all these payment processors and all these other, like there's all these problems with working with microtransactions and working with transactions and making a reliable transaction through the internet. The language is designed to remove a significant portion of those problems. And the scale of the, like the magnitude of the, like the importance of that is, and the sheer, like the sheer value that's created in creating this this language that can do all of these, can do financial transactions or things that have the sensitivity of financial transactions and need the recording level of financial transactions. Having designed a language that can do that is a big deal and something actually fairly new, you know? And so when people have criticized Epic for leaning into Verse and UEFN, I understand, because I spent 6 months a year trying to make great stuff in UEFN, and the better the you know the map that got, I got one map that got 150,000 plays, and it wasn't the map that I spent months and months and months designing everything and building the models from scratch, and making, setting up 300 walls under the map, and then moving the walls into the map at the start of each level, and having, blah, 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 blah. It was the map that was like, oh, here's how you make a red versus blue map, and it's got grind rails, and, like it's just it was, all the things that I made that tried to be really, really unique went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And so it's hard to see. I'm sure it's hard for people that love Fortnite to see, and the people who have spent their a huge chunk of their professional lives building and upgrading Fortnite, to see what's happening to it, in that it's not pulling the same numbers it was before, and it's not growing. And so Epic decided not to invest as much in it, and that they put all of their effort into UEFN. But UEFN is, UEFN is a lot going to be a lot more of a viable product in a lot of ways. Or the thing UEFN will grow into will be more of a viable product than Fortnite is in 5 years. Especially with Fortnite sort of devolving into a Roblox clone, which is what, a lot of the, Fortnite explicitly recruited essentially a bunch of creators from Fortnite or from Roblox to come be in Fortnite by paying them more. And so the long-term game, hopefully, and the long-term plan is for UE6 to be UEFN and the power of verse sort of made accessible in UE. And so I assume that I will be able to make a bunch of tutorials about UE6 when it comes around, talking about how UEFN really blends into UE6. Well, how blending UEFN into UE6 will make a lot of things that people want to do a lot easier. At least hopefully. We'll see what I'm doing in another. Yeah. Anyway, unprocessable entity. Okay, so what is going on here? So that seems to have fixed my text only mission, but my old UE, but my new UE new UE endpoints. This seem to have broken. I get a bunch of these errors. Submission and then submission. Unprocessable entity. And then we look at the. No. Oh, that is the server side. Let's see. So that. So everything seems to be working. Wow. All right, so we come back up maybe about there. Maybe it changed the shape of the response somehow. I wonder what happened here. Okay, send it. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Bum, 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 bum. Malformed submission payloads. Uh-oh. Huh. Um, Okay, my UV client is also sending bad round submission data after that. Um, no definition available. Okay. Well, that's in processing.py. Um, generate definitions. So where am I calling generate definitions? I'm gonna stop this. Okay, well, we're gonna gate this a little bit to a graph. Okay, so that's in here. Event tick. Align hidden tags, setup hidden. Okay, so this is, what is it doing that print? It should be straight on the, as I remember, that print is straight up on the event graph. Mark self ready, fine. That's all fine. Update round letters, fine. Align hidden text on workboard. That should be here. And it should say no. I know I did it in blueprints and not in code. And it should be in this blueprint. It should be attached to event tick somehow. All right. Current word realigned. Huh. Capture hidden text set to true. Maybe it's actually in the is it actually in the player input player controller? Right. Okay. All right. Oh, crazy. Thought that was done in elsewhere. Oh well. Regardless, now we need. Okay, so this. This said something malformed. The malformed thing was submit submission. Rounds 182 submission. So well, let's look at what it's sending as far as the player controller segment. It's when it sends submit submission. Submit word, more multiplayer controller. Add breakpoint. Okay, so round ID comes out of the game state. Player ID, stable player ID comes out of the one more player state. Word ID, definition ID. Okay. That may be the problem, is that my player ID is not right. That would be my guess. This isn't where I want to be. This is a useless window now. Unprocessable entity. Live. Okay. Am I still getting? Yes, I'm getting some. Oh no. Okay, well, keep finding bugs that I did not find before. And then it is, let's see here, where is, definitions. No, I have not tried the AI integrations. I'm scared of that for several reasons. Um, First, I have the strong feeling well, yeah, it is kind of awful. At the same time, um, I have the strong feeling that those would end up being very expensive. So looking at the code or looking at like what how I've dealt with this so far and all the problems I've had, um, the context window, I think it get really expensive to run that stuff on a project of any size. Now I should do more research on that. Now that you mention it, um, because you're right, it is problematic, and it's but one advantage I found doing it this way is that I understand the code, what's going on, how everything's put together. I understand the whole thing a lot better than I would otherwise. So the more on top of it I get, the more I realize that it's important for me to understand everything that's going on. Um, um, and when I understand, this MP generate definition endpoint, um, MP generate definitions endpoint is going to come out of underscore multiplayer DB. Um, let's see here, and MP generate definitions. What was it? What was that? Multiplayer round, I think it was. Multiplayer game. No. Yeah, multiplayer game round. Right. They're all really expensive. They're gonna get more expensive too. Um, I um, I figured some of the AI tools and using the AI tools, if you know what you're doing, um, some of it is kind of cheap, but then the real, like, if you started using Claude Code or the like big editors, they're going to end up just chewing through tokens. And um, and it's all API. So I subscribe to the text back and forth, and I don't pay more than like $20 a month for ChatGPT, and I paid a flat like 10 or $20 a month for Claude over for a year, which is still quite a bit of money. But the disparity between pay as you go costing me, let's say I use $2 in tokens a day, or $3 in tokens a day, which wouldn't be too hard. You're talking about $100 a month immediately. Um, you know, and it makes me faster as a programmer, but it also, but this sort of hybrid approach that I'm doing, where I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go get generate definitions for endpoint. Generator fetch multiplayer. Wow, it went to three. It went 3 levels in. Multiplayer processing, generator fetch definitions. Okay, fine. Multiplayer processing. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, but I mean, I couldn't. It's possible. It's possible. Because the same generation infrared. Right. Okay. Okay, Python. Here we go. We're in generator fetch workload definitions. Yeah, I might get more than I originally signed up for. I mean, I already feel like using the AI is cheating, honestly. I'm so used to, oop, okay. I'm so used to, I'm so used to things being much harder than this. The part of it is I feel more hands-on with this. I feel more hands-on when I'm like, okay, I need to know where this goes. This needs one helper. Okay, definition ID. I'm not sure. Let's see. And then we got insert definition. Do I have insert definition as a helper? All right, so let's see if this works again. You're probably right. I actually like Claude a lot better than ChatGPT at this point. Jocksite. Joxy. Okay, let's see what that is. And let's see if I need to turn off capturing hidden text. So to do, let's see here. One more. Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. A specialized marine algae that glows in the dark is unbelievable during mating season. Now that is awesome. That is a great name. All right, so here we go. We've got this round ID, player ID, stable player ID. Oh, word ID is unknown. Definition ID is 46120. And it tries submit submission. Oh, the word ID is 0. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay. So where am I supposed to have set the word ID? So the word ID needs to come back. I can make one. Let's see here. Here we go into the Discord, general. Here we go. Text, new channel, stream, discussions, and questions. Here you go. Ask all you like. Will be the first real content, real discussion in my Discord in a while. Anytime, I will answer questions there. Yeah. Hey, chat all you like, and I will watch that one too. So here we go. We got we've got definite word ID comes out of definition submission, event definition clicked. So that comes out of TF definition. No, that comes from multiplayer definition. Collider clicked, save parent, child clicked. Child clicked. The child does not have access to the word ID. My definitions is setup definitions. Breakpoint right here. Breakpoint here. All right, so let's go back here. Let's see if I just don't have, if I'm not setting it up. Func. See what definitions I have available for the word func. Hurry it up. Up. Let me go. Func. Bunky. Yeah, bunky. Here we go with the bunky. Sit back and the monkey. All right, what do we got as far as? All right, so this definition's in. We've got 3 definitions. Oh. So where do I get a word ID? Set up definitions. Event. Get guessables. Generate definitions complete. Handle generate definitions complete. Array element word ID. Okay, so I'm not passing it in. I need to go to this. I need this setup definitions call to have a word ID attached to it. So we go word ID, integer, and add definition in. And add definition needs a word ID on it as well. And then this also needs a word ID on it. Word ID. Integer. And then there we go. We set the word ID. And that is multiplayer definition. Okay, and then true false multiplayer set. Multiplayer definition set needs a word ID. Take that word ID and put it over here. Dink. And so add definition. Set of definitions needs the word ID. So now we have moved the word ID all the way up from the top. Need to make sure that the top sends it down. In the player controller. And array element word ID goes in here, set of definitions that I'm not going to have. Local variable, integer, word ID. Set it here. They'll all be the same. Really not very clean to do it that way, but whatever. I'm in a hurry to get this thing out the door. I don't know. My guess is that they are compiled when you do a full build. One second. Do blueprints get compiled into some form of machine language? When packaged, or are they always visual? They've got to be compiled when you package them. Bytecode. Right, okay. Okay, yeah, so it creates a serialized right, okay. Okay. So the blueprints in UE are there is an interpreter for them, but it's a fairly fast interpreter. If you were to do a lot of back and forth between C++ based code and blueprints, you would have performance problems if you did a ton of that. Like if you were doing a graphics call that required you to go back and forth from blueprints to C++, it would be a problem, apparently. but you wouldn't, you you probably you probably would try and avoid that architecturally no matter what. Um, because architecturally, if you have something that's very performance intensive, you probably want a single call from blueprints to a C++ source that's much more efficient. But optimization focusing on something like that so early, optimization focusing on something like that before you really know you need to worry about it is a big problem. Um, it's more problematic to worry about the optimization than it is to worry about the actually getting things done part. Let's see here. Because the getting things done part is hard enough on its own, but then when optimization just makes your life miserable if you do too much of it. All right, FIFA. Beefy. It's satay made with beef. Oh my god, I would totally. There are so many things here. When creating releases, I just asked Claude this, and when creating releases, what it does is it serializes the compiled graph. So it basically compiles the graph into something that is not recognizable visually, but then it pushes it through a virtual machine, the way Java does. There used to be an optimization to do like an option to do blueprint nativization. Says this, but they took it out. I would guess that I mean you wouldn't be able to see that. You would be able to regenerate that visual graph based upon a compiled source, a packaged source, but it isn't what it's using. It's using like a real like compressed down version of it. Is my assumption, or is my interpretation of how all this works. Let's see here. So let's see. Oh, I can just remove this, I think. Let's just wing it. Add definition. Word ID. I have a word ID. Huh. I thought I had a lot more words in the database. All right. GPU profiler, blah, blah, blah. Bife. Oh. Bife. Round, player, word ID. Okay. Breakpoint. Let's see if this causes me problems on the server side. Bang. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Bool okay success false. Lots of bool okay success false. Huh. Well, I have a couple problems here. Submission, bad request. Okay. let's see here. So this 400 error. We want to go to the multiplayer server client here. Or yeah, okay, let's do this one. Submit submission. Okay, so this is the one that's getting called. And let's see here, submit submission is in multiplayer round, I guess. This is the endpoint. Submit request, base model. Hey, let's do this. This is make the endpoint more revealing. Yes. That's what I want right there. Yeah. Okay. Buffet. By buffet. Cool word. And yay. Okay. 3 times catastrophic failure. Please try submitting it again. Possibly contact developer. Well, developer says stuff it. Let's see here. Oh. Ew. Oh. Okay, well, that makes sense. Key player ID equals blah, blah, blah. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, this is actually a database problem. Oh, noes. So the question is how to avoid setting up a full okay, so let's talk about the bigger story here. I've been avoiding managing the authentication, setting up full authentication on my fast APIs. My server for the moment, Scheme, because I'm in a hurry. And it sounds complicated. Solution can I use to not interfere with future implementations of no. We're going to run this again and see if it stays what it is. It is currently that. And we're going to see if that stays stable across sessions. So, come on, here we go. Wake up. Okay, GAU. What's a GAU? We're gonna find out. This is awesome. Curator of dreams, responsible for collecting and organizing the dreams of a community into a public repository. I'm down. Okay. Now, my player ID is not the same. Oh, damn it. Okay. So how So I have a player ID here. let's see what we've got in this table. Because the player table will have all rows. Bought. Okay, so we have bought. Lots and lots of bought. Right. But it isn't inserting a player ID for oh. Wow, it was never this. There's no way this was ever working. Okay, that's good to know. So, Yuppie, Yuki, Airy. UA. Okay, well, so when okay. Interesting. So where's the first place the player ID is referenced? Where is it set? No, that's the generated. Ooh. Okay, so um bots. Still look goofy. Whatever. Oh, so goofy. Man. Oh, this gets so complicated so fast. Well, let's try Claude for this one. So running code actually comes from Claude. Most of Um, well, I guess we'll take this leap. Why not? Um, hmm. Eesh. Um, okay. And then load. Ooh. Okay. Hmm. Go node is now installed. Wait. Okay. Okay. Um, let's just go with that. Check my Galaxy, whatever. And find that my two-step verification says that somebody is trying to log in. Okay. Where? Yes, it was me. Done. So, resend it. Okay, great. Continue. Okay, enter to continue. Use only use it with code you drop. Okay. Yes, I trust this folder. Okay. Exit. All right. So now we go to fork and we check everything in because starting with Claude code safety chicken. I mean, 2 people pushed me towards Claude code in one day, so I'm going to try it. Console. Okay. So writer open with my. All right. Well, let's just save all. Close this down. Um, um, okay. So okay, fine. All right. So let's open PyCharm first. Wow, I'm using PyCharm 2024. That's not good. All right, about writer. Which writer am I using? 2023. Oh my God. Okay. Um, okay, accept selected. Yeah. Wait, do I have a JetBrains account, the password and so on? Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Writer. What? What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to download multiple files? Okay, well, you're trying to download Writer multiple times, so we're not going to do that. And then one fallback license, web store. Oh, okay. So I don't have a web store license. I need Writer and PyCharm Pro. Oh. Okay, well, download that too. And oh, I did try and put this into Python or PyCharm. I did put it in PyCharm. Okay. Exit. Okay. I'm not completed yet. I'm just out of date. Okay. And now we get both of these up and running. Okay. And now take this. ID. Downloads. Install Writer. Upgrade Writer. I may need to reboot and other things while I install all this stuff. But I'm going to be streaming again regularly. Uh-oh. What do we got here? JetBrains router setup. Bink. Okay. Yeah. And okay, well, we'll do that. Oh, close JetBrains. And then what's this? We're all having lots of fun here. Okay, to retry. Okay, so yeah, okay, that process. Okay, well. And now it is time for a musical interlude while installing software. Okay. I think it's waiting for another version uninstall. Yep, here we go. Here we uninstall the other old version. Boop. C drive because I have no space on C. And add to the path variable. Okay. It's a laptop. Let's see, what are my hardware specs? It's probably just that I'm doing a lot of things at once here. I've got Postgres running and property. No, that's the storage properties. That I need a PC about my computer. That's where things were, right? It's partially because I have just a monster of a time cleaning up my C drive for some reason. I've done it 3 or 4 times and it keeps being just right on the edge of too much. But it's a pretty old machine and a laptop at this point. What is, let's see here. How slow compared to a standard development machine is a 16 GB RAM with a 2.6 GHz Intel Core processor in it. Intel i7 core processor in it. I mean, it's probably more. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's not great. Um, I never intended, like I never intended to go this long without upgrading, but it's just the way things are. Um, it's probably primarily that I have so little. I'm also running, because I'm running this all on one machine. I have Postgres running here, um, and the stream. What else might be heavy here? I didn't close Chrome before I did the install. Interesting. I wonder what's eating all the memory. Discord, Fork, Chrome, pgadmin. I could get rid of that. No. Um, yeah. My memory is a little high because of Chrome. I could probably ditch Chrome for. Anyway. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just that it's taken it. I had to uninstall Writer first, or uninstall the two versions of Writer I already had. And then I'm also going to install PyCharm real quick. Because that's what makes sense to do. Since I'm setting up all these AI tools at once, I might as well set them up in the. So long since I played this song. All right, here we go. Writer done. Bum, 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 bum. D download. Oh, and it launched Writer for me, which I didn't intend for it to do. Oh well. Slider almost here. Okay, so one more is open. Application inside debug log. Wow. Okay. Allow. Why would you? Okay. Okay. Well, let's make sure that I can still run at least my get everything running up and running. All right, let's see here. Browse install AI, just one click, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here we are. We got word game state. One more. Oh, edit configuration. Oh no. Okay, it should. Hopefully it will load this and I'll have the launch. I really wouldn't want to need to reset up all the launch configs. Okay, well, let's see if I can, I mean, while I'm waiting, I might as well overload my computer so I can just quietly play guitar while this thing loads. See if it sounds any better with a pick. Where did I put all my picks? Oops. See if I can even play it with a pick. Nope. Yeah, out with the old, in with the new. Oh, I might get some hard drive space back from that. Yes. No, it's on the. Okay. Okay, so I can push that button when I'm ready.